Heritage Festival 2024. As we embark on the 37th year of this festival, our theme is We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. We are bringing back iconic events such as Yesterday's Children, Belmana Riots, and Courtship Codes. We want to highlight the importance of coming back to our roots, celebrating the people and the communities that make Tobago so special. Get ready for an unforgettable experience as we say, we come back to our true essence. We want to encourage each and every one of you to continue to support our cultural development and preservation in any way that you can. Your support is truly invaluable. Together, we can continue to make a positive impact that will be felt for generations to come. Thank you, and see you in July.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pride and excitement that I address you to officially launch the 2024 Tobago Heritage Festival. The Tobago Heritage Festival is not just an event, it is a journey back to our roots. This year's theme, We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. It captures the true essence of revitalizing the culture and traditions that have shaped our identity for generations. This year marks the 37th successful hosting of the festival, and we are proud to officially dub the month of July as Tobago Heritage Month. A time when our island comes alive with rhythms, flavors, and stories of our ancestors. The festival continues to offer an unparalleled opportunity for economic growth on the island. Every stakeholder, from local artisan and vendor to hospitality businesses and transportation services, stand to benefit. Our vibrant cultural displays will attract visitors, boost tourism, and provide a significant economic uplift to the island. The heart of this festival beats in our communities. We are empowering each village to manage its own productions to ensure authenticity and sustainability. The Tobago Festival Commissions Limited and the Tobago House of Assembly are here to support you, fostering an environment where our heritage can flourish sustainably. As we embark on this journey, let us celebrate the essence of Tobago. Let us honor our heritage and support our communities as we showcase the vibrant culture that makes our island unique. Thank you.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Carnival right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival. Pan in paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real Titans of Soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning. Great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
Christmas time we had things like we have when you're selling meats, because my grandfather used to also rare meat. So when he sold all the meat and stuff for Christmas, the knuckle and the pig feet and stuff, those were the things you would have Christmas Eve, cooking in a stew. So those are the ideas that you had those memories, but they are buried. So we are trying to relive those memories and to continue because we really see the need for it. Tobago Fireside is a new tourism niche product to the island of Tobago, where persons can come and enjoy authentic Tobago or traditional Tobago cuisine. Oftentimes persons travel for experiences, and when you travel for experiences, food experience is one of those things that persons want to partake in. Today is really just to have it out there, launch the experience, and we do plan to have this being one of the biggest experiences done in Tobago. So it's not only about sand and sea and the nylon reef and stuff. You're going to have something else to do while you are in Tobago.
It's an absolutely fantastic experience.
I find it very refreshing, something new for the Tobago space.
It's definitely something to be added to your bucket list.
Don't talk
I am so happy to be here today. I'm enjoying the music, the food, the conversation, learning so much from persons around. So when you come to Tobago Fireside, you're not just coming for the food, you're getting a lot of rich Tobago history as well, and rich Tobago culture.
I'm a traditional guy, so especially the chocolate tea, trust me, you're on point. Knowing from my grandmother days and stuff like that, growing up and stuff like that.
It is such a very unique experience, very local, very cultural, very informative and educational.
Excellent, fabulous. I enjoyed it. It's something new, and I hope she makes this an annual thing.
If you're from Tobago or if you happen to be visiting our shores, definitely check out the Fireside.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning and welcome to Youth Wednesdays on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Port Moresby, Tobago, and yes, this is yours truly, Dwayne Nurse. It's a beautiful morning, beautiful midweek, mid-work week for those who work, and school week. Well, for those of you who are students, you're on holidays. So kudos to you. But this is the Wednesday where we bring the youthfulness of the Tobago Updates family and give you the best of the best, the youthful vibe and everything. This morning I'm joined with
Natalia Nance. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dwayne, to our viewers on our varying platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and 102 Ampere. We welcome you this morning to Tobago Updates Youth Wednesdays.
All right. So I just want to quickly shout out a few people before we go over to news in 90 seconds. I know we're a bit late, but good morning to you, Nita P, Nita Peters. Good morning to you, Portia John Charles. Good morning to you, Marilyn Spence. Joe Field. I told you I would shout out last week, but I was not here. And for those of you who missed me, I miss you guys too. And finally, Brenda Campbell. Good morning. That's it for the shout out this morning. We're going to go over straight to news in 90 seconds with Miss Natalia Nances.
The news is brought to you by Standards. Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Thank you, Dwayne. Here is your news in 90 seconds, Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. A consultation by the Tobago Oil Spill Relief Committee to discuss compensation for fisherfolk affected by the February 7th oil spill ended in frustration. Fisherfolk who have endured economic losses since the incident expected prompt compensation but faced stringent requirements. The fishermen criticized unrealistic demands and red tape. Andrew Taylor from the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund assured legitimate losses would be compensated even without exact receipts. However, many found the requirements overly complex and left the consultation in frustration. Police Commissioner Erla Haywood Christopher held a marathon meeting with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association executive to discuss crime reduction and police officer requirements. The 4-hour meeting at the Police Administration Building in Port of Spain was described as cordial by Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association President ASP Gideon Dixon. Haywood Christopher dismissed claims that the meeting was in response to a rage in murders, emphasizing the importance of maintaining good relations with TTPSSWA amid increased crime reduction efforts. She mentioned plans to deploy more officers to Tobago and reassured that officer welfare is a top priority. Dixon called the meeting meaningful and productive, assuring that strategies to improve officer welfare will be evident soon. After the police shut down the Warner Group's aggregate processing plant in Wallerfield for operating without a license, the Ministry of Energy granted the company temporary permission to operate days later. This was disclosed in a July 10 lawsuit by Warner Quarry Company Limited and others against Attorney General and Director of Public Prosecutions, alleging a police conspiracy to cripple Warner Company. Alan Warner and others were charged with illegal mining offenses from December 2023 and May 2024 operations. The lawsuit seeks to reclaim seized property, resume operations, and accuses the police of unfair targeting and unconstitutional actions. The Warners are seeking interim orders for police to vacate the Wallerfield property and return confiscated equipment. The case is set to be heard today. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard. Nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
All right, thank you very much for news in 90 seconds. I'm going to go speedily onto our birthdays this morning, and we have about two birthday celebrants this morning. First, we have Mr. McKail Jordan. A happy birthday goes out to you from the Tobago Updates family and from us here on Youth Wednesdays. And who do we have next, Miss Nancy?
Dr. Janelle Moore Scott, happy birthday to you. God's blessings to you on your day, and I really do hope that you enjoy it to the fullest.
All right, that is it for our birthdays this morning. Miss Nancy, do you want to do the pleasure and honor bringing us the rundown for them this morning?
I think Dwayne, they would like to hear you give them.
They would like to hear me. All right, you're dictating the pace this morning. All right, no problem. This morning we have a very interesting rundown for you. And first, we have NESC /TI diploma programs, and to foster that discussion this morning, we have Kemba Dupre and Afisha Henry. Secondly, we have women's football competition for Grenada Relief supplies, and we have Leandre Piper and Chanel Arjun. And last and certainly not least, we have Reloaded Steel Ensemble 10th anniversary celebration, and we have Kenrick Noel and Jean Nichols. And that is it for this morning. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said it's okay, it's my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love, wind up and show me love. Together say we
Go in. You have to stop it. You have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it, everyone.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making the plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look out below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look out below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special. Wings Friday, 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT. Soup Saturday, 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail, or smoked bone. Special $150. Super Sunday, 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and we are back here on Tobago Updates Youth Wednesdays this morning. Of course, we start off with the energy and that vibe that we promised you earlier this morning. We are here to talk about a little bit of competition, a little bit of sport. So we're starting the morning on a hot topic this morning. This morning we are joined with the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force discussing the 3Ws football competition. I'd like to welcome our guest on set this morning. All right, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. So, Dwayne, let's discuss with the viewers what they'll expect to hear from this interview.
Well, I feel much like an intruder this morning, given the fact that this is a women's league. But it was interesting to see that our interviewee is a male, which is quite good. It's good to see that men are taking care of women.
I mean, even though it's a women's league,
I'm just being facetious, me.
Of course you are. You are.
I
Right? But even though it's a women's league, of course we still need the men, to help
Yes.
us out with.
But what do you think? The women's warrior wellness, would entail. Do you think it's more physical fitness over mental health? Is it hygiene? I just asking. We're waiting on the interviewee
Yes,
to,
of course.
to join us this morning. But we place much emphasis on men football, and not really on women football. And I think some years ago I saw an article where the women were lobbying for more compensation in in the football arena. Those women footballers, because they work just as hard as so they claim. Again, I'm just being facetious. But what do you think about that?
Well, as you said, they work as hard as the men. Now, women football itself has its own character, I would say. So they would have to put in a certain amount of work, certain amount of skills and everything to get their best foot forward in for the competitions. So if it is that they are asking for a higher compensation, I think it's well due to them.
Oh, but do you think it should be equivalent to what men get?
Ooh,
Let's
that
leave
is-
that topic for another time.
Yes,
You know
I
what?
think we should.
But as we're talking about women football, I think it would be remiss of me if I don't big up our very own renowned Yaya Cordner. Good morning to you, and she would have made us proud, made herself proud and her family proud, and her village proud in Speyside there. I think she recently or is having an upcoming football event in Speyside, surrounding youths and football and thing. It'll be a real nice thing to see, and just her way of giving back, because Tobago would have invested in her and given her the support wherever she would have taken the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
But doing in the excitement and everything, I think we'll give our viewers some time to just ingest what we just gave them, the information and stuff. So we'll take a short break, and in the meantime, viewers, we encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And we are back here once again on Tobago Updates Youth Wednesdays. We had some technical difficulties before. We welcome our newly coming viewers this morning, and also we'd like to welcome back the viewers that were with us at 7 a.m. when our show started. As I mentioned before, we'll be continuing on with our interview this morning at the 3Ws football competition. So let's just welcome Mr. Leandre Piper, the coordinator of the football competition. Good morning to you. We seem to be still experiencing some technical difficulties. All right.
So this event is geared toward fostering relief for Grenada, For those of you who might not be aware, Grenada would have experienced the severe brunt of the hurricane. What name again?
Hurricane Beryl.
Beryl.
Yes.
Beryl. How could I forget that word? But yes, so they would have experienced the severe brunt of Beryl, and many persons, countries and islands, surrounding islands, would have, taken the initiative to lend some support, lend some relief, and this is a great initiative coming from the Defense Force. We would have seen last week and possibly some weeks before, people around the island of Tobago leaving on their pirogues to also lend relief for Grenada. I think this is a great initiative, very much showing how caring we are as a nation. And I think just the day after the hurricane would have hit Grenada, I saw somebody posted that when we had our hurricane, I think it was either Flora or Ivan.
It was both actually.
Yes.
It was pretty devastating for our country.
Yes.
So I think it will be remiss of us if we don't.
Yes, because they also help.
Of course.
Send relief to Tobago for that, because we are very much close neighbors.
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, a lot of our families on the island share that kind of connection,
yes,
because
with
they
Grenada.
came from Grenada as well. So yeah, that's a fun fact.
I think we should also mention that this football competition has already started. It started on the 13th of July and it continues on until the 19th.
Right.
So if unfortunately you missed the 13th to the 17th, or should I say the 13th to the 16th competition, you have 17, 18, 19 to look forward to from the Defense Force. And of course, for those of us in Tobago, we buy up our tickets because this event takes place at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad.
Yes, and if you can't make it, you could always, I think there's stores in Trinidad you could order and send. No, I'm serious. Right. So we have our interviewee ready for us. Let us bring them in.
Good morning all.
Good morning to you.
you.
I know
Good
we
evening.
experienced some technical difficulties this morning, but we still welcome you with a bright smile this morning here on Tobago Updates Youth Wednesdays. Good morning to you.
Thank you. Good morning. I want to have a special good morning to you all in Tobago, those in Trinidad, especially Grenada, and the rest of the world.
Right.
All right, so, of course, we want to hear more about the competition. We got the ball rolling a little bit, giving out some information to our viewers. I would like to say that Dwayne and I, we got a bit excited, but we hand the ball right over to you, right? So where did the idea of the 3Ws come about? I mean, we have been mentioning 3W football competition, but where did it generate? What was the idea behind it?
Okay, so the 3W stand for Women Warriors Wellness, right? It came about with our counterparts of the Grenada Football Association. They reached out to us at the Defense Force Football Club, and we assisted them in creating this initiative, especially that knowing that they sustained the damage during Hurricane Beryl. We wanted to incorporate this initiative to support them, in addition to using the platform to show our commitment to promoting women's health and wellness, encouraging athletic excellence, and fostering community engagement within the nation and, by extension, the region.
Right. And I've already mentioned where this event will take place. That would be at the Hazley, or is taking place, I should say, at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. For the dates, the 13th to the 16th, that some of our viewers might have unfortunately missed. What teams have been playing, and who do we expect to play between the 17th and the 19th?
Okay, so initially we had 6 teams. We have Grenada, we have Trinidad and Tobago High Performance Women, we have Defense Force Football Club Women, we have Playfit Football Academy, Club Sando Women, and Queen's Park Cricket Club Women. Today at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. are semi-finals 1 and 2. And well, 7:10 p.m. is the second semi-final. The first final includes Defence Force and the Trinidad and Tobago High Performance Women. And the second semi-final includes Grenada and Club Sando. Unfortunately, Playfit and Queen's Park didn't make it to the semi-finals, but we appreciate their efforts and we invite them to come out and see the finals and enjoy the closing ceremony that we have planned.
All right. So what has been the support like? This is a very noble event. But what has been the support like coming to the event, people subscribing to the event, and what is it free? What are the requirements to be a part of the events? Where do we get tickets?
Okay, so it's free entrance. Free entrance. The only thing is we want to support our counterparts, our Caribbean neighbors of Grenada, with bringing relief items, which would be canned foods, goods, to just give that relief to Grenada and help them and assist them in building back up after the damage they sustained from Hurricane Beryl.
All right. So the entrance is free.
In addition, sorry to cut you off. In addition, the attendance, the turnout has been historic. As in, I was told that women football in Trinidad hasn't seen this amount of attendance in a while. Maybe before I was born. So that's a plus for everybody involved in the tournament and everybody involved going forward.
That's really good. That's really good. For those of us here in Tobago who want to support, and whether it be financially or tangibly, by bringing or getting the goods and dry goods, is there any mechanisms through which we can do so? Given that for some of us here, a lot of us here in Tobago, we may have to travel by plane or by boat. Was there any consideration given to that at all?
We were discussing it. We weren't expecting such a large turnout. However, we are always innovative. You can reach out to me at 707-9028. Contact us at Defence Force Football Club at 612-1703. You can reach out and we'll arrange to accommodate you all over in Tobago.
All right, that's good. And I think I must ask this question. How is it that you all chose women? Was there any strategic, reason behind choosing a women's football league over a men's football league? I'm not lobbying for the men. I'm just asking.
No, it sounds like you're lobbying.
No,
but okay, go ahead, Dwayne.
No, I'm not. I'm genuinely asking. Was there any strategy at all? Because if it were me, I perhaps would have used that strategy as well. But let me hear your thoughts.
Well, we want to show appreciation for the women first and foremost. We have to show, not only on Mother's Day, we have to appreciate them. We have to appreciate them every day. However, we at Defence Force want to give the women of Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension the region, opportunity to play competitively and extensively, so that they could then go and showcase their talents regionally and internationally. So this platform is mainly about that, in addition to allowing Grenada to come on board, to allow them the opportunity to showcase their talents and for us to show support for them in their tough time during this hurricane season.
Yes, certainly.
I think one of the things that I should do as a woman for Dwayne this morning is get him a ticket to come down to see that game, to support our woman player, football woman.
Yes, well, certainly as much as just if you're accompanying me, of course, I would take that.
No,
right,
we
but anyway, it would be a great initiative. It's really laudable. Women are indeed the backbone of our society, and truthfully and rightfully so. They are underappreciated in a lot of ways, and this is a very, very, very good initiative to show that, and it also simultaneously providing a relief for neighbors there at Grenada. Congratulations, guys, and I really hope that it redounds to something very meaningful, even exceeding your expectations.
Yes. And I think,
Um,
as you said, great initiative going forward in helping our Grenadian neighbors. They really are in need right now, and where they reached out to us in times past, we'd like to also do that for you all. So yes, we do commend you on that initiative, but we also encourage our viewers to contribute in any way that you can. Mr. Piper has shared his contact number, so if you have any relief items that you'd like to share with Grenada, please get into contact with him so that we can support our neighboring country, Grenada.
All right.
Yeah, feel free to come over to Trinidad as well. This tournament is the inaugural edition. We plan to keep this annual tournament, so feel free to keep it on your calendar. We'll keep you all updated in the future. God spare life.
So much, Mr. Leandra Piper. He is the coordinator for the 3Ws Women's Competition currently ongoing at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. For those of you who need more information, you can visit the Tobago Updates website and you will see that flyer presented. The cost of entry is free. The game starts at 5 p.m. And of course, we are in the semi-final zone, so there will be 2 games played for the next game, and the other game starts at 7. So if you unfortunately miss the 5 o'clock, there is a 7 o'clock as well. So we'd like to so we welcome as well the other person joining us. We'd like to welcome you.
Oh, hi, good morning.
Good morning to you. Right.
I think
So we
that
seem to
was
be having
the team captain there, Miss
Yes.
Chanel Arjun, sorry. I guess she's not ready for us as yet. But it is good, and the entry is not necessarily free. How you need to bring something,
Yes,
right? Don't
walk
just
with
go
something in hand.
with your hands swinging, or drinks in your hand for yourself, but make sure you contribute tangibly to the occasion, right? So we want to try Miss Arjun again.
Is the Grenadian captain is Malaya Ramdani.
Malaya
Not Chanel.
Ramdani. Oh, my apologies.
Yes.
Thank you for the correction.
No problem.
Okay, I guess that should be it for this interview this morning. We want to head speedily over to our next interview. Oh, here she is. Good morning and welcome to you, Miss Arjun.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
All right. So what is your role in this event? Just tell us about yourself and why you're here.
I'm just here to play for my country. I've been playing with women's national team for almost 10 years now. So I'm just here to help my team.
All right. So you're a Grenadian native.
Yes.
Tell us, what does this event mean for you and your country? You are a patriot, being the captain for so long, or being a player for the national team for so long. What does this initiative mean to your country?
It means a lot. We're really seeing a lot of growth and development in football in Canada. It's very exciting to see how far it's come. So getting to be a part of big events like this truly means a lot. We take it very seriously. We intend to come here and show that we are wants to be messed with.
All right. I mean, I know it's a competition, and I don't want to have people, too much on the edge of their seats. But How has the games been? Have you been beating people left, right, and center in these competitions? What has it been like? Are you coming to Trinidad to give them women licks, as we just say here?
Dwayne, you sound like you're asking her for her dribbling technique and these type of things.
No.
I'm very interested to hear it.
I want to see if you left so far. You have to share some licks.
Yeah.
All right. She's so excited that
very much excited, and she sounds like she's ready to actually share that lick. She's coming in strong.
Yes.
And she's actually Grenadian team captain. So I hope that you lead your team to victory, hopefully. I mean, I support Trinidad and Tobago all the way, but if it is that Grenada has come to set that pace for Trinidad and Tobago, we respect it, I really do hope that this competition going forward is a good one and it yields good crop, I should say, for the assistance for our neighboring country, Grenada.
Certainly. I mean, we have expended a lot of time, but Ms. Arjun, I want to give you the opportunity to give your closing comments and probably solicit the entire country to lend support to this event for your country. I just want to give you that opportunity before we take our leave.
Yeah, no, it's tough competition out there. It's good football to play. It's exciting to see where women's football has come from and where it's continuing to go. So if you want to be part of that, then come out, support, bring some stuff to help with the hurricane relief and come have a good time.
All right. I want to thank you, Ms. Arjun and Mr. Leandri Piper, for joining us this morning. Guys, this brings us to the end of this interview this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just remember to sharing is caring, right? But don't share me. But anyway, just remember to share the life.
We'll be right back.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported. Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
it's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, everyone just joining us, and to our viewers that have been with us since 7 a.m. this morning. We continue on with our second interview today. I am joined with the Student Affairs Officer and Administrative Assistant of the National Energy Skills Center Technical Institute of Tobago. We know them as NESC. Right, and they'll be here. They're here to talk to us about, their programming, what programs they do offer, what's the cost of these programs. So in case you had no idea where you should go forward in life, here is NESC coming to you to present to you their programs and what you can do from September 2nd as their opening date. So good morning to Miss Kemba Dupree and Miss Afisha Harry. Good morning.
Good morning. We welcome you for having us.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. All right, so we get right into it. What are the programs offered by NESCTI Goldsboro campus?
Okay, so at our campus, we offer a number of diploma programs, namely automotive services, refrigeration and air condition, welding, electrician, and IT network specialists.
Okay, and what types of certification could we find in those? I mean, what levels, I should say, that we could
Okay, so it's a diploma program. So upon graduation, you receive an NESC TI diploma. If you choose to go on to our OJT training program, there you can receive an additional certification, which is called your journeyman certificate. And automatically, once you complete that, you obtain your trades professional certificate from the Red Deer College of Alberta, Canada.
Oh, wow. So you have a lot to look forward to after graduation.
That's true. You come for one particular diploma program, and you can leave with up to 3 qualifications.
Okay. All right. And before we go on, of course, I mentioned that your start date is September 2nd of this year. So could you give us some more information in terms of how do we register for these programs and who should we speak to? Contact information.
Okay, so we are currently accepting applicants from the age of 16. Our requirements for registration is your national ID card or your passport, your birth paper, 3 CSEC pass, which maths, English, and a science subject. We accept applicants who are in the field, who has knowledge of the programs that they are interested in. They are welcome to come, and we're going to chat with them and see where they're at and direct them to the correct path. We also accept fifth-form students who just completed CSEC. We encourage them to come in, and we're going to work with them. No mind results is not out. We take them pending their CSEC qualifications.
And so that we do not miss this registration period, I should say, and don't bypass the deadline without knowing, what is your registration period dates?
The registration is currently open now, so we go until the 16th of August.
Okay.
It's open but they're for applicants. So once you come in, but now from now to the 16th of August, we accept you. There's some qualification documents that you have to bring in for entry into the program.
All right, and you mentioned that CSEC students who have not received their results can also come to the institution and register. What do they bring with them, seeing that they don't have their certification as yet?
So all they bring is a passport size photo, one passport size photo, the national ID or passport, and the birth paper.
Okay. Okay, so what is the curriculum like, right? Yes, we want to tell everyone to come to NESC and what we can receive after graduation. But in terms of the nitty-gritty of it, what to expect program-wise, what is the curriculum like?
Well, with each program, there's a specific course outline that speaks to that program. However, with each program, you can expect a blended learning experience, which is part of the program is taught at the campus. That's the training aspect of it, the practical, where you come to the workshops and you complete certain tasks, and the online aspect, of course.
Okay.
You are given a link to your classes. We have an online platform via the Red Deer College of Alberta, Canada.
Okay.
So you log on to Blackboard, and there all your online classes. You can have access to it there.
Okay.
And all your course content as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, I apply for welding. Yes. How is that course structured? 2 terms, 3 terms? What can I do as a welder when I'm finished at NESC?
Right. Well, as I said before, each program has a specific course outline. However, with each course, it's broken down into 2 years, and it's broken down into 1 year, which amounts to 2 years. It's a 2-year full-time program.
Full-time, okay.
Yes. And there are 3 trimesters in an academic year.
Yes.
All right. With all of our programs, you begin with health and safety, because that's very important.
Topmost priority to begin.
Yes. Yeah. All right. And with all of our programs, we follow the industry standard. I like to consider us the best in terms of skills and training. All right. We work very closely with the industry to update our training. In fact, our welding workshop is, I want to boast, the newest on the island. It's state of the art. It just underwent an upgrade. All right. Yeah. And I want to invite Tobago Updates to come on up to our campus. And, you can have a free tour.
I think our producers are taking notes.
Yes, please. We invite you to come, spend a day, not a day, but sometime there and, come into our workshop, see what it is we do, because we are training, persons for the industry. There's a lack of, I think there's still a lack of skilled tradesperson within Trinidad and Tobago, and that's the very reason why we were established, to fill that gap.
I think in terms of that, I think that's on the rise. A lot of people are seeing the benefit in trade now.
Yeah.
So for those of you who would like to jump on that trade, that trade energy, I should say, you are welcome to attend NESC from September. Remember that registration finishes on August 16th. So we want to make sure that that is done. All right. So what are the job opportunities like after graduation? How has the job market for your graduates been?
Yes.
In the past, and what can we look forward to after graduation?
Well, to be honest, most of our graduates actually, they are self-efficient. They have their own businesses. They work for themselves. All right. I would like to say that the labor market in Tobago isn't as extensive as in Trinidad, where you could work with some of the biggest countries in the Caribbean. But however, because we have top-notch training and international certification, or graduates, they migrate They go abroad and they work. They go to Trinidad. They travel the world. We all know that Canada, they are, one of the countries that really they ask for tradespersons from all over the world, and we have a couple of students who find that very enticing. And now, because of our training, they can easily apply and get through, to work in those countries. In fact, the Red Deer College is from Alberta, Canada,
Yes.
and they are our partners. They are our affiliates. So you can go to most provinces in Canada and work without certification. A welder is a person that, you're always in need to weld something.
Yeah. Plumbing as well.
Plumbing.
You see everybody putting
Well, we
in
don't
AC
have
now.
plumbing right now.
Okay.
But based on those that I've mentioned, those are all industries that require tradespersons in Tobago.
Of course.
All right? And we are here to, push that market, fill up that market, with the best tradesmen and women.
Okay.
Right.
So I'm coming from the place of a student who, yes, I like to hear about NESC offering these programs and these things, what I can look forward to after graduation, right? On the topic of looking forward to after graduation, when I do start to work at places, could you give me an estimate as to what these tradesmen make on a daily basis? These young people are always make the bag, make the dust or whatever. So, so can you tell them what they can look forward to?
Well, I can't go in depth in terms of the salary bracket.
Just scratch the
but
surface.
let's just say that I'm gonna draw a scenario, right? You're an apprentice.
Okay.
You're working alongside someone. You're learning the trade. However, you have no certification to really show for it. All right? You heard of an opportunity to work, let's just say, answer, as an automotive technician.
That'd be a good call.
You have the practical training, but you don't have any documentation, any certification. I could imagine how that could set you back.
Of course.
All right. Let's just move to perhaps an industry where it's not that rigid in terms of they may need to see your documentation. Probably AC. You might be understudying someone. They take you on as a private contractor. You're working with them, but they are contracted by a company because they are registered and they are certified. That contractor might give you something, but he may not give you
everything.
What you deserve
Right.
because you have no certification. You see, once you have your certification and a level 3 diploma, you can demand a particular level of salary.
So we want the young people in a place where they can demand a salary, and not have to be offered the amount.
You ask for what it is you want.
All right. So before we wrap up, of course, we are talking about what we can make after graduation. Let's look at the cost of some of these programs before we go.
Okay. So all our diploma programs offered at the Goldsboro campus, excepting one, is 30,000 per year out of pocket. All right. That's if it is you don't qualify for GATE. However, we have good news for you. We are GATE funded. So don't panic just yet. We are GATE funded. Once you qualify for GATE, you would be able to pursue a program, perhaps free of charge or depending on your means test. It starts from 50%.
Yes.
50%.
50%.
Then it goes up to 75. Then you could get 100%. For those who don't qualify or for those older persons above the age of 50, you have to pay out of pocket. It's 30,000 per year, but we do have a payment plan, so we make it affordable for everyone. The program that I said that, you know, accepting the others, you know, that one is 20,000 per year. That's IT network.
Well, this is me thinking you're going up, but you went down.
Yeah.
So these things are very much affordable to our general public. And I am encouraging the general public to become involved. I mean, even though you have that 84, that 95, the 73, whatever times it may be, nothing is wrong with adding that trade, right? Because as you've heard from her, there is a lot to gain from trade, right? So thank you so much, Miss Kemba Dupree. She is the Student Affairs Officer. I'm going to share your contact information with the public, of course, in case you want to get into contact before August 16th, right? That's 731-9485, 731-9485. And Miss Afisha Harry is the Administrative Assistant. You can reach her at 306-3182. That's 306-3182. Thank you so much. I should say NESC
we also
staff.
have our office contact.
Yes.
All right.
Could you share that with us?
660-6925 or 612-4684 extension 5002.
Okay, so you are free to call all of these numbers for your registration needs, for any further information you may want on the NESC TI campus here in Goldsboro, Tobago. So as we continue on, viewers, we encourage you all to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Said I'm falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said this soca is my therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety, my remedy.
Like this.
Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you fuck it. So me be very hard, fiesta, fun.
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke where you have, where you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good all. They do good enough, nine. Girl, go the club, girl, right. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and a winding up on me man.
Dream.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens is coming down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road is a miracle.
Go in, you have to stop it, you have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it every night.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Oh yeah! I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
Embark on an adventure to the greatest little island on the planet. Tobago invites you to ritual, revelry, and release.
Whining in the Bago sun, having Bago fun, and Bago drinking rum. We go jump up and carry on.
From October 25th to the 27th, 2024, experience the energetic vibe, the vibrant colors, and the unforgettable spirit of the Tobago Carnival.
Down here in Tobago. In Tobago.
Whether you're tripping down the road or marveling at the beauty and creativity of our artisans, Tobago Carnival is an adventure.
I said I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait for Carnival to come. So I call all my friends, making my plans for the Tobago Carnival fun.
Join us for ritual, revelry, and release. Tobago Carnival 2024, where every moment is memorable.
I said I can't wait for Tobago in October.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Deltec Distributors Weekend Special Wings Friday. 3 pounds wings, 2.5 kilogram fries. Special 100 TT Soup Saturday. 2 pounds cube beef, 2 pounds cow heel, 2 pounds chicken foot, 2 pounds pigtail or smoke bone. Special $150. Super Sunday. 3 pounds leg and thigh chicken, 3 pounds sliced pork, 3 pounds lamb slice, 3 pounds cheese, 2 pack of pasta. Special $250. Located Main Road, Argyle, Tobago. We deliver 20 TT. Contact us on deltecdistributors.com 395-5040 or 237-0102. Deltec Distributors Weekend Special.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up and look, 'cause this is your show. And everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up and look. This is your show. And everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to Youth Wednesdays and Tobago Updates Morning Show. You're viewing us here live in Port Moresby, Tobago. We're going to take and round up this interview this morning, Youth Wednesdays, with event and to foster that event themed heritage happening, we have Mr. Kenrick Noel and Mrs. Jean Nichols. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
We nearly got us a heart attack a little while there, but glad to have you guys. You know, why are you guys here? And just tell us about yourselves. So.
All right, so good morning to all the viewers, and it's a pleasure being here. So we represent the Reloaded Steel Ensemble, and it's quite an exciting time because we are celebrating 10th year of operation. So it's really the 10th anniversary, and for those viewers who may not know much about the Reloaded, it was founded through the vision of the Warners in terms of something for retirees to do, come out and play pan, come and enjoy the ambience of learning to play pan from scratch. So you have the Warners, that is Mr. Lincoln Warner and Mrs. Ruby Warner, with the founders. You have Mr. Roger Sardina, who plays an integral role in terms of assisting Mr. Warner with the whole, the musical productions that we put on, and it's captained by Mrs. Maureen Cooks. So they have hosted quite a number of events and participated in a number of performances over the years. And, as I said, it's an opportunity for the retired professionals, let's put it that way, to come out and play pan. And you know what, pan is music to the soul, basically.
Yeah, certainly it is. But before I go over to Mr. Noel, are you guys retired? You guys don't look like retirees to me.
I feel retired.
You feel retired. Okay, all right, understood. So Mr. Noel, just tell us about yourself and what is your role in this event.
Well, to everyone, good morning. So good morning to your listeners, your viewers, your supporters of Tobago Updates. Kenrick Noel is a brand ambassador. Okay. I like things that are well done, well orchestrated, well constructed, and therefore I add myself to wherever there's excellence. And this Sunday is an evening of excellence.
Right. So why the heritage happening? Why was it themed that way?
Well, we know that heritage is a staple in the calendar. It is a worldwide event. But unfortunately, we have become laxed in our offerings for heritage over the years, where persons have begun to complain that, I see this already, I know that, it's the same songs, the same things. So we as a committee looked at that calendar and found that little pocket where there was an evening of release, and decided to fit into that evening and give our patrons, give the public an opportunity to have a happening in the heritage.
Great. So this event will be taking place on Sunday. Where is it going to be taking place? How do we get tickets? Is it free? Do we get food? Do we get drinks? What to expect from this event?
Expect nothing but the best. Right. This happening, and the word happening is because we couldn't find a better word than all-inclusive. Yeah.
Right.
This is not just a mere pan show. This is not just a mere heritage show. This is, put it this way, have you ever gone to an event where as you entered the arena, the venue, the ambience just swept you away? This is that kind of event. Have you ever gone to an event where even though your pockets may say, I could spend this money somewhere else, the experience thereafter of saying, I need to pay these people some more, that food was on point. Those complimentary drinks was really worth it.
So we're getting food and complimentary drinks?
Once you pay.
And what is it cost?
For an evening of this caliber, just a mere $200.
Only
cost of living is high, so we must be able to pay our bills at the end of the day.
Right.
But as long as you understand that to have members of Reloaded Steel Orchestra, members of Dixieland Steel Orchestra, even the brand new coming out of Dixieland, the Rising Stars Steel Orchestra Youth Band, to have saxophonist Mr. Malcolm Boyce, to have violinist Miss Carol Noel Warner, to have ace arranger, ace performer, ace Owie boy, Duvon Stewart, and then to tie in the evening, Prince Unique and my uncle Johnny King.
Johnny King. That Johnny King.
$200. Hi. We're pulling out the big guns. Remember, there's another event where you could take a flag and run down the field and something for those people. So to have an evening for our people, $200. We could even collect an offering afterwards.
all right. But you want to
yes, I was also just saying it's all-inclusive, as Mr. Noel said. So, you expect a little complimentary drink, the little hors d'oeuvres, and, that kind of, it's not, yes, it's a sit-down event, but it's not a sit-down event, if you understand what I'm saying. It's an event, it's an ambience that is created where you sit, you chill, you chat, you talk, and you just enjoy the music and the performance, of the event that is happening. So that's the kind of ambience.
So before we end or wrap up this interview, where do we get tickets? Can we get tickets at the door or at the gate? Just explain to viewers where do we get entry tickets.
At this time, we have committee members, Mrs. Ruby Warner, other members of Reloaded Still.
Yes.
Contact us. Our numbers are on the flyer.
Yes.
Reach out, pass by Dixieland Panyard. We're still preparing the grounds, we're still practicing, we're still putting all the fine details in place. So come in. I'm expecting to see you there because I know you can't capture the flag alone. So make sure that Tobago be a part of the heritage happening for 2024.
All right. Well, guys, this brings us to the end of this interview and Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates Morning Show. I want to thank you guys for joining us. For those of you viewing on our varying platforms, for those of you just joining us, don't worry, we have more for you. And good morning, Tobago. So just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. You have a great day.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
If I had 10,000, we gonna build me fireside higher. If I had 10,000, we gonna build me fireside higher. If I had 10,000, we gonna build me fireside higher. When that baby come from school, and my people may put on fire.
Christmas time we had things like we have when you're selling meats, because my grandfather used to also rare meat. So when he sold all the meat and stuff for Christmas, the knuckle and the pig feet and stuff, those were the things you would have Christmas Eve, cooking in a stew. So those are the ideas that you had those memories, but they are buried. So we are trying to relive those memories and to continue because we really see the need for it. Tobago Fireside is a new tourism niche product to the island of Tobago, where persons can come and enjoy authentic Tobago or traditional Tobago cuisine. Oftentimes persons travel for experiences, and when you travel for experiences, food experience is one of those things that persons want to partake in. Today is really just to have it out there, launch the experience, and we do plan to have this being one of the biggest experiences done in Tobago. So it's not only about sand and sea and the nylon reef and stuff. You're going to have something else to do while you are in Tobago.
It's an absolutely fantastic experience.
I find it very refreshing, something new for the Tobago space.
It's definitely something to be added to your bucket list. I am so happy to be here today. I'm enjoying the music, the food, the conversation, learning so much from persons around. So when you come to Tobago Fireside, you're not just coming for the food, you're getting a lot of rich Tobago history as well, and rich Tobago culture.
I'm a traditional guy, so especially the chocolate tea, trust me, you're on point. Knowing from my grandmother days and stuff like that, growing up and stuff like that.
It is such a very unique experience, very local, very cultural, very informative and educational.
Excellent, fabulous. I enjoyed it. It's something new, and I hope she makes it an annual thing.
If you're from Tobago or if you happen to be visiting our shores, definitely check out the Fireside.
Hey. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no.
Good morning, and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you won't ask. But before we get into this morning's conversation, so let's have our news in 90 seconds.
The news is brought to you by Standards. At Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
A consultation by the Tobago Oil Spill Relief Committee to discuss compensation for fisher folk affected by the February 7th oil spill ended in frustration. Fisher folk, who have endured economic losses since the incident, expected prompt compensation but faced stringent requirements. The fishermen criticized the unrealistic demands and red tape. Andrew Taylor from the International Oil Pollution Compensation Fund assured legitimate losses would be compensated even without exact receipts. However, many found the requirements overly complex and left the consultation in frustration. Additionally, Police Commissioner Erla Yearwood Christopher held a marathon meeting with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association executive to discuss crime reduction and police officers' requirements. The 4-hour meeting at the Police Administrative Building in Port of Spain was described as cordial by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Social and Welfare Association President ASP Gideon Dixon. Yearwood Christopher dismissed claims that the meeting was in response to a recent surge in murders, emphasizing the importance of maintaining good relationships with the TTPS SWA amid increased crime and reduction efforts. She mentioned plans to deploy more officers to Tobago and reassured the Officers Welfare Association that they are the top priority. Dixon called the meeting meaningful and productive, assuring that strategic and improvement in officers' welfare would be evident soon. And finally, after the police shut down the Warner Group's aggregation processing plant in Wallafield for operating without a license, the Ministry of Energy granted the company temporary permission to operate days later. This was disclosed in a July 10th lawsuit by Warner Quarry Corporations Limited, others against the Attorney General and the Director of Public Prosecutions, alleging a police conspiracy to cripple Warner Company. Alan Warner and others were charged with illegal mining offenses from December 2023 to May 2024 operations. The lawsuit seeks to reclaim seized property, resume operations, and accuses the police of unfairly targeting and unconstitutional actions. The Warner Group are seeking interim orders for police to vacate the Wallafield property and return confiscated equipment. The case is set to be heard today. And that was our news in 90 seconds.
Get your quality furniture and appliances at Standards. Frigidaire gas range $599. Serta base and mattress $1,899. RC 50-inch smart 4K TV as low as $2,599. Yes, at Standard, nobody beats us on price. Believe it.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. I am Chanel Felix, and this morning we are kicking start our conversation by talking about all that's happening in Tobago, as well as what's happening in settlements. And this morning we're having that conversation as well as hitting on some of the mid-year reviews and the goal of the Division of Settlements. This morning, we are chatting with Assemblyman Ian Pollard, who is the Secretary for Settlement, Public Utility and Rural Development. Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning to the wider world, all those who are doing on the World Wide Web. Pleasant good morning, especially to the constituents of Mayston, Moriah.
Excellent. And this morning, we're chatting a bit about the mid-year review for you in your own personal tenure as Assemblyman, as well as some of the goals for your division and some of the changes that have occurred. In addition to that, there has been a number of events and activities that you have been spearheading. One of those activities being that football league that has taken place in Mason Hall that just concluded. Tell us about that and how was that for you and your constituency?
Well, as a former footballer, that was one of my aim, at least to assist the young footballers in the area, especially the young man who is charged with training most of the men on the north side of Tobago, Mr. Devon Smart, who led a contingent of about 18 players to Minnesota to participate in a tournament. They are there right now. I saw pictures of them last night. I mean, it is always good to help the young ones who wish to participate in sport, help them along the way. So it's an initiative that he approached me last year. I sponsored it last year. I sponsored it this year also. I got one main sponsor, which was TSTT, and I had them donate the money straight to the account of the club, the North Stars Football Club, to assist them in their travel expenses to travel to this tournament.
Excellent. And tell us a bit more about the actual village league that took place. Was this put on by your constituency office? Who actually put on the league, and who came out on top of that league?
Well, I did it through the constituency office, but I'm the main sponsor because this year it cost me a whopping $55,000.
Right.
But it's all good because what the kind of economic activity I saw took place in the community. I mean, right now the community is asking me, we can't let the community die down. We need to continue this. But this costs for money. And we know that the economic times that we are in. But it was good to see that the families were out. I mean, there were no nights. There were less than 300 persons on the football field. And that, brought the community together. And the north side, because I've always had the mantra that the north side must be revived. And it was always good because we had another league in Moriah. I must praise Mr. Omari Taylor. I think we have two of the best running leagues in Tobago, the Mason Hall Village League and the Moriah, the Community Builders Football League. But it's all in an effort to at least to keep the young men occupied. So I will continue supporting them, supporting any initiative that will bring the community together and at least expose these young men and young women to go after whatever their dreams are, whatever they are. Once I could assist them, I would assist them in any way possible.
Right, and who came out on top of that village?
Well, in the knockout, we had the Alma Road, where I was born and go. Alma Road FC came out the winners. And in the Big 8 tournament, we had Castara FC coming out the winners.
Excellent, excellent. And you said that there were some of the players that went to Minnesota who are actually in Minnesota right now. Tell us about that transition. What was that actual initiative about?
Well, Mr. Devon Smart, he always has, every year for the last probably 5 years, he has the coach from Minnesota here. And I mean, I've interacted with him. And there's this tournament that exposed these children to football scholarships. So I think I found it fitting to assist these young men. I did assist one of my constituents with the tour to England by the Brian Brown led team. But is anything that to support, I am going to support once I could do financially. Because I remember my first trip abroad was in 1984, going to Canada to play in the Gloucester tournament with St. Clair Coaching School. So I know what it feels like. I know what it takes. I know some of the parents are going through some hardship with economic finances. So I'm going to try to assist them in any way possible. But he's doing a wonderful job on the north side of Tobago, coaching young men and women from Cudler Hall right up to Lance for me. So I must tip my hat to Mr. Devon Smart and his whole organization, his executive.
Okay. And when it comes to what's happening over there at Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development, very recently you took a trip to St. Vincent to do what we call a knowledge exchange. It's interesting to know exactly what that trip was about and what came out from that.
Well, since taking office, we went into the Division of Settlements, Secretary George and I, and now Secretary Kerr is now my assistant there. And what we found is that we have been operating an assembly without much policies. And we have to look and see what other countries with less resources are doing that is making them function and function better than how our initiative here is functioning. So the knowledge transfer was well received by all those who went, because we saw how grants are implemented, their policies, and we could adapt. So we just taking from what we have, tweaking what we learned, because one of the things that touched me when I was in St. Vincent and the whole team was that all public servants, and I want to say this slowly so that all public servants and contracted workers could hear, all public servants in St. Vincent is given a 2% mortgage for the entirety of the construction of a home, and they're getting 100% financing from the banks. When you're there on Fridays, in Tobago, Friday afternoon, the offices are really, persons leave early. I mean, these persons they don't have the conditions that we live in. We operate in, at the offices. They have small offices, they have fans, very few AC. But they are determined to stay and work because they have a vested interest in the development of the island. The Saturday when we were coming back, I think there were the World Cup cricket taking place either the Wednesday or the Thursday. And on Saturdays, you had, like what we call the guys who work on the street, who cutlassing the street and cleaning the street because they know what event was coming. But I'm saying persons will give off once they know that there's actual benefit in the system. And I think that we have to move to that stage, because at settlements, I started the program where I will give out a parcel of land or anything to hard-working employees. I did it in my draw in March, and I know the Chief Secretary is endeavoring to give out 100 parcels of land to employees in the THA, public servants, down at Colan. So you cannot be in a system and not benefiting from the system. It gives you that kind of impetus to go there and work hard every day. And for too long, we have a system where things were just given because of your political affiliation. Your name might come down in a draw if you're lucky. But it's the revamping of the entire settlements division and the policies that we have and the procedures that which we have developed to have these lands or houses distributed to deserving recipients.
Right, and tell us a bit about that 2% mortgage.
Well, I just had brief conversation with the Honorable Ralph Gonzalez, as he's known as the world boss, 5-star general. And, it's an initiative that the party came up with. And, I mean, it is working because the person who invited us, it's a lady from Pembroke, Marissa, I can't remember her last name. But, I mean, for the government to come up with such initiative, it's commendable that you could have a 2% mortgage for the entirety of a loan and get 100% financing from the banks. We have to face the commercial banks at high interest rate, 9, 10, 13, 14%. And you're paying for this until probably you retire, your kids have to take over. But if you want to give people the incentives, the government must intervene with these financial institutions and have some discussion about them, because we here in Tobago, I mean, most of us bill out of our pocket. And we could never finish a house in time, or somebody has to come and put one on rumors. But some initiative has to be taken for Tobagonians to benefit.
Right. And during your campaign period, you would have expressed a lot of time the frustration among young entrepreneurs as well as young professionals in getting affordable housing. What have you been able to do thus far to bring some relief to that situation?
Well, we started our first house. We completed our first affordable housing, our social affordable housing at Milford Court to someone who was visually impaired. We started the second one at Blemin, that is completed, and we started 3 more at Milford Court for those who are physically challenged. I mean, it is frustrating having to, for persons to buy into your vision to deliver to those who are in need. Because when we go out in the field, I see the conditions. Like I always tell everyone, I do not allow my staff to go out. I go out, I see the conditions persons are living in. And we must make an intervention, because housing is a social issue. It encapsulates so many things. I mean, once you're living comfortably, I mean, you'll have better behavior. You have a place that you're protected from the elements, from being out on the streets. I mean, Housing is so important. And I think that I always say settlements is the smallest division in the Tobago Assembly, but could be the most effective because everybody needs a home.
Exactly. And when it comes to your goals for housing as opposed to where you are right now, how far off do you think you are from the goal that you came into office with?
I am far off, but I wanted to explain to Tobagonians. And this isn't just hearsay, but I've been watching the whole system, and hence that we are forced to do things sometimes out of the box. Other secretaries and myself, because we have limited financing. But because of the limited financing, and we have persons or systems that are, in want of a better word, that are putting roadblocks, that we do not succeed. And I want to say that to Tobagonians. It's not that the Assembly's dispensation does not want to deliver, but the kind of hindrances that we are meeting. Because I've said earlier in my interviews that it took Town and Country 96 days to respond to one letter asking for outline approval. For Chauvin, it took them 64 days for a letter giving us the guidelines for Adventure and Adelphi in Mason Hall. So with these hindrances coming up, and I usually spoke because we are at the stage now where a contractor was selected for Adventure, I think 120 or 140 units. And I was speaking to a high-ranking public servant, I think last Thursday, and he said, if you take these plans to send them to Trinidad to be approved, you're waiting another 6 months. And this isn't just the system. I think this is deliberately done to stymie the growth and development of this dispensation and Tobago. Because by no way, in Jamaica, it takes you 6 to 8 weeks for final approval. It is taking us 10, 15 weeks to get outline approval. And
right.
somebody could tell me that is not deliberately done.
But this is an issue that is also being faced by private citizens when they apply for approvals for their homes. They are often faced with long wait times for their approvals. So what type of policies have the THA decided to put in place to combat the long wait time, especially when it comes to actually getting the project started with contractors?
Ms. Felix, I'm glad you asked that question. I serve at the behest of the Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine. And we have something that you have collective responsibility. But because housing is a 5th schedule item in the Tobago THA Act, Act 40 of 1996, I'm speaking of me personally, but I have to go collectively with my team. I was not waiting on the government to take back Town and Country, because that was under us. That is under us. It's only from Mr. Orville London came into office in 2001 that responsibility was handed back to Trinidad. And to date, they do not want to release it in arms so that we could function. In that meantime, you know what that delay costs to individuals? You know what is somebody waiting a year, 2 years? You know what increase on their mortgage, because as you get older, your mortgage payments get higher? You know what pressure that is putting on families? When you cannot have just the process for approval to take the shortest possible time so that this person could at least enjoy a little more flexibility with their income. You know what is 2 years delay or 3 years delay? Hence, Tobagonians are forced to construct out of their pocket. And we all have cap salaries because we're working for the THA. So, unless you're doing a second job on the side. That's why I see so many employees in the THA have something on the side doing. Because all of these things forcing you to have to curtail your time in the government institution to try to do something to meet your payments. But for me, if it fell under me, I'm not waiting. Because I'm not begging or asking for something that belongs to me.
Right. And of all your colleagues, you may seem to be a radicalist when it comes to initiating the type of change that you deem necessary to get the job done. What type of radical moves have you had to make, specifically when it comes to some of the projects getting off of the ground? There is that one in Riseland, there's Corland, there's Shirvan, there's also Cano Bay. What type of radical moves have you had to take in order to get the work done regardless of the red tape that has been presented?
Well, it's not a matter of radical rules because, you know, we have to still play within the confines of the policies and the rules of the THA. But you just have to put something in place, because what I found is that we are lacking in resources in the division to negotiate on our housing development. So the Chief Secretary's infinite wisdom gave me a mandate where to form a special purpose company. You know, special purpose company will cut all the red tape to get these housing projects up and running. And so that I could proudly say that the special purpose company have been meeting since March. There's a 7-member committee. So they are the ones overseeing and fast-tracking, putting their own systems in place. I know pretty soon they should have a GM on board so they could start actually negotiating with the contractors who were selected. So we have to revert to design, build, finance, because we don't have the money to build homes. We have never had a line item in the division for housing. So what we're having is that persons coming with the money, and probably what we have is the database of persons who are pre-qualified. And we could give them that so they could go to the bank to know that, okay, we have 6,000 persons in this range, 5,000 persons in this range that are looking for houses. So we are hoping that these contractors are coming, they are raring to go, but because the red tapes of getting the necessary approvals is really keeping things back. But it's not really, what term you use? Radical, but you have to do what you have to do in order for things to happen. And then you have to, you have to be on everyone's back. You have to be there. You cannot be just giving instructions. So I have to be there making sure that this happens. Once there's a delay, anybody in the division lets me know and I act up on it. I call my colleagues to get things done. But what we have done is that we have, since I've been in the division, we have a stakeholders committee. So we have all the players around the table. Town and Country, EMA, Fire, Health, everyone. TNTech. So everybody knows that what we are bringing to the table, so that when the approval reaches your division or your unit, there's no kickback. So we're hoping that could get started. But we're hoping that to get this housing started soon. With Riseland, I want to say this, and I want to say it slowly. Riseland was conceptualized in 2020. Under the last dispensation. And I want Tobagonians, because we had a draw in March of 2022 for 41 persons for Riseland housing development out of 54 units. It was an IADB loan to the central government of Trinidad and Tobago, because I think one of the conditions were, once they're doing a project in Trinidad, they must do something in Tobago. They were considering Riseland and Adelphi in Mason Hall. They chose Riseland. The Trinidad and Tobago government was supposed to access from the IADB the loan of about 4.5 million US. Listen to my figures, 4.5 million to do the infrastructural work. And NIPDEC was supposed to get the financing to construct these 54 units. And about 2 months ago, we had a meeting with IADB, only to be told that the central government did not access the funding to do the infrastructural work here at Riseland. Now, we had a draw. The division paid them $1.1 million to help with the architectural design. And there was a little back and forth about paying $9.5 million in escrow, but they said that the IADB was supposed to take that. But what is concerning to me and the division is, and the executive, why didn't the central government access this 4.5 million US? That's a drop in the bucket for infrastructural costs.
Wow.
Just to help in the infrastructural costs. But yet, in Trinidad, we have seen this year, of this fiscal, $388 million being spent in Trinidad on housing for persons in Trinidad. And yet, we cannot get just a mere 30 million TT, roughly 30 million TT, to do the infrastructural work to start 54 homes in Tobago.
Wow. We're going to come back and we're going to continue right here with this discussion. We're going to take a quick break and see you soon right after this.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. This morning I have been chatting with Assemblyman Ian Pollard, who is also the Secretary for Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development. Before we took the break this morning, we were talking about that development project there in Riseland that was supposed to be funded by the IDB. Now, there was a projected $4 million that was supposed to be given to the THA for this project. And Mr. Pollard, you are saying that Tobago never received the money because the central government never initiated that loan. Help us to understand the actual process from the central government of getting that funding from IDB and then it getting to Tobago, and where did the breakdown actually occur? Who is currently the minister in charge of pushing this at the central government level as well?
I think it's the Minister of Housing, because I mean I'm not sure of the process, but like I said, that is what we met in the division, the file containing the initiation of this housing project and who is supposed to do what. I mean, we have started whatever it was under the Division of Settlements, what we had to do. We have started that process. Like I said, we gave the $1.1 million for the infrastructural designs. And I don't know why the breakdown, because we are still asking. We have been having meeting with NIPDEC, asking. I have my project manager, the director of settlements, having conversation with someone from NIPDEC, asking what is the reason, and all they could send to us an email is that we'll get back to you shortly. But it wasn't even someone from NIPDEC. It is someone from IDB who told the chief secretary and I that. So they didn't have the courtesy to say that, okay, we have not accessed the fund, or the funding was used. But we have done that drawing, we have expended money, but nothing coming forward. So I want to apologize to those persons whose names were called with that high expectation of getting a home someplace that they could call their own. That the delay is not on behalf of the THA, but because of the central government not accessing the funding. So the Special Purpose Company is a company between the Division of Infrastructure and the Division of Settlements. And we also have conversation with the Chief Secretary where we are looking to opt out of that contract with NIPDEC and go to a design build finance model, so that at least these homes could be constructed so that these persons could still get their homes at Riseland.
Right, and recently we saw that the Minister for Housing, Camille Robinson-Regis, she was in Tobago. She was giving away a couple of grants to Tobagonians for home construction, as well as home improvement. Are there any connectivities within the Division of Settlements and what has been done at the ministry level in Tobago in giving Tobagonians grants for their homes?
There is no connection. Since I've been in office, there is no connection. I understand that connection was there before we took office in December 2021, December 6th, but there's no connection. But I'm glad that you raised that point. And you could see that is a concerted effort against Tobago by this PNM-led government in Trinidad. In that, the grants that they gave out, we normally have different line items that they've put funding into to support these grants. The beneficiary owned land line item was removed last fiscal from the division's list of line items that we wish to put funding into access these grants line item. And we wonder, well, why would you move the BOL line item, which was most sorted by Tobago because it gives you up to $50,000? So we had to write asking the Ministry of Finance in Trinidad to reinstate that line item. So we couldn't have paid, we couldn't have accessed any, we couldn't have given any money under that line item. And she is coming into Tobago and giving out $3.2 million worth in grants. But here's the funny thing about it. We have about 4 or 5 line items. You know what was the total amount allocated to us for this fiscal? $3.8 million in 4 or 5 different line items. But yet she came in and gave out $3.2 million
to 80
in grants
families.
to 80 families. Now, I'm not knocking that the families are benefiting, but between 2010 to 2015, there was a hue and cry about disrespect to the Tobago House of Assembly. Where is the respect now? Where is the respect? And then you coming to do something like this, I mean, it's something that I have to look into, because now that the line item is back, I must say that there hope, because getting in, there are some of the changes that are taking place in the division, and I would like to state it here publicly, that it was recommended by the Auditor General that instead of individuals approving grants in the division, we have a committee, oversight committee, to look over these grants and housing application, and that is cross-section from different professionals throughout the THA. That committee was constituted on Monday. They were given their instruments of appointment. Since we have not been able to access any grants application for this fiscal, they are working whole day today from 9 to 4 to clear the backlog, so Tobagonians could get the grants that they so deserve. So I'm saying that there are changes inside the division whereby I'm only following the rules as instructed by Auditor General. So there's a committee will be reviewing all grants in the Division of Settlements as of today.
Right. And when it comes to the criteria for these grants, are they going to continue to be the same, or is the division moving towards, changing some of the requirements?
We are moving to change some of the requirements, because what we saw in Jamaica and St. Louis and St. Vincent, we have to be more mindful of person's economic situation. We look at income, the household income, but what they do in St. Vincent is they do average, the average of the household income. They are more inclusive. They decide how many persons are living in the house, how much siblings, children. We have different criteria they use that we are adopting. But we intend to change the grant situation, because persons have been meeting the Chief Secretary and myself and people in the middle income who are really suffering, because their salary is too high to access the grants and it's too low to access a mortgage. So what we saw in the St. Vincent model and Jamaica model is that the grants are given in a tiered system. So what we will do for the new fiscal starting in October, the committee is charged with looking at the persons on the lower end of the income getting a higher grant, and those with a higher salary getting a lower amount in grant. Those in the middle income, they're not being left out because they too can access some of the grant funding. Right. So we're trying to catch, we may not be able to catch the number of persons that usually access the grant, because they have some persons wait every 5 years and just come back and just do everything from their house. Every 5 years they access grants. In the other countries, you are given one grant and you're off the system. So we're going to bring your house up to a habitable condition, and then it's up to the Executive Council to decide. We are still in discussion if that will be the route, but we are changing the policies of the grants distribution so it could catch a wider number of persons, and those who really need the assistance will get the assistance, because right now we have trainees from the YES program and the World of Work We are doing a pilot project to go out there and get the necessary data, because everything has to be data driven. That's what we saw in the countries that I visited. Everything is data driven in order to form policy. So they will go there from, I think today, gathering that information. So we'll use that to develop the criteria. So that comes October morning, that the grants policy will be changed and most persons will be accessed, and we'll be able to go out there and at least bring some needed help to those who really deserve it.
Excellent. We're going to take a break right here and we'll be back right after this. See you soon, guys.
Passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for it.
Said I'm falling, falling, I'm falling. As I lay in my bed with my head to the ceiling. Say I'm drowning alone and I'm lost in my feelings. Somebody send me a sign, cause you know that I need it. Carnival, come back to me, cause you know you're my healing. I said it's okay, it's my therapy. Therapy, my therapy. It take away all of my anxiety. Anxiety, my remedy. I tell you that we all need love. Jump up and show me love. Wind up and show me love.
Go in, you have to stop it, you have to stop it.
Welcome to my kitchen, guys.
You have to stop it, I do not.
That's it. That's the intro. Let's do it one more time, right?
I'ma play some tune like this. Don't worry, my wife will fuck it up. Make me happy whenever you come. So me be very hard, fiesta, fun,
This one is for the people and them who don't care what nobody else have to say about them.
Them none of cash, broke where you have, where you know about.
It's too early for that.
Too early, good on.
They do but then enough 9-9. Girl, put the clamp, can't ride. Nice.
Who's the one friend can drink all the alcohol no matter what?
Put a bottle and spoon and a cup in my hand and I'm winding up on me man.
Dream.
I can't live without you, I can't be without you for too long. Cause when I'm around you, I feel like the heavens just come down. I feel it in my soul every time we on the road, it's a miracle.
Yeah. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Let's go.
Welcome back. I am Chanel Felix, and this morning I have been chatting with Assemblyman Ian Pollard. And the conversation now is on housing, and we're talking about affordable housing as well as housing for young professionals. Now, there are persons that have been in the system for a long time, even persons who have already received their letters approving them for houses as well as lands, and they have the financial means to get started, and they're wondering what is the keepback, why can't they get started? They're even willing to build on their own, do all the infrastructural work for themselves because they have the financial means to do so. Are persons able to come to the division and say, here's one, financially, even though I was qualified for a house to be built by the division, I can afford to build my own house. Can I have the piece of land and go ahead and start my construction?
Well, Ms. Felix, coming into office, there's a two-pronged answer to that question, in that for election ploy or gimmicks, we found that before the last election, persons were just given lands, information on a letter stating that they are awarded parcel of lands. But then the development hasn't started. I went into the division and found people coming to me with letters stating that they were awarded a parcel of land in Chauvin. Chauvin has never been surveyed or anything like that. How could you give someone a letter stating that they have lands in Chauvin and there's no the process hasn't even begun as yet? So we find a lot of persons out there with those letters, but the persons who are bona fide are the persons that that we met, that when we came into office, that the draws were under this tenureship of this dispensation, because when the housing developments closed, like in Castara, once it's closed, it's under the sole purview of the secretary of the division. So hence the reason I was able to hand out 82 parcels of land last March under no one else. So even though there was a list in there, that is out the door. So hence the reason why I as secretary could have had the joint March. I would discuss with the chief secretary about the condition, because we have persons who are complaining, I'm in the system 20 years. I'm in name and calling. So although I could have hand selected everyone for those lands, I said, no, chief, I best we do revive some of these categories that have been dormant, so persons still could develop some level of trust in the system. So we find that last draw, we've had a category for persons only who were in the system for 20 years, those who were in the system for 10 years, and some persons were selected, even the young professionals. I had a young lady who came to me and said that she was so glad that she was out of the country and understood that her name was called, because she had been waiting there for so long. So we have to have persons buying and having that confidence in the system so that they could come and start a construct. But we're hoping that we have to work on changing the mindsets of Tobagonians, because I want to say it here that the cost of material, of steel and concrete, it will drive the cost of these units way out of the reach of who we are catering for. So we are looking at using alternative materials to construct, and even difference in design, because I know one of the designs that we're looking at Chauvin, and probably might be the younger generation might gravitate towards it, is like probably 6-story apartment buildings. So you purchase an apartment.
Right. And what about the persons who are bona fide? They have that letter that is legitimate, and they have the financial means to get the design and the building started. What can they do to kickstart the process?
Once you are legitimate, you have the letter, you are awarded and it's there, we just have to have the process. You know what we found when we came into office? There is no completion certificate for any of the housing developments in Tobago. Hence, WASA will not give you connection, TNTEC will not give you connection. There is none, so we are working on that now. That's why we expend so much millions of dollars in maintaining these developments in Adventure and in Colon, because they have never had any completion certificate. So persons who have the money and just waiting there, we are hoping that we could that we are giving enough money to do what is needed, so that they could now go and build free, and just it gives an ease off of the division.
Right, and that has to do with the installation of the utilities for them to do the building.
Yes, to do everything.
So that has to do with like the Colon Estate.
Yes, Colon Estate.
As well. And tell us what is happening at the Adventure.
Well, Adventure right now, we are the persons are paying into TTM, what was TTMF, but like I said, there is no completion certificate. So we just had a meeting last week, the assistant secretary and the administrator and I, to call in TTMD now that they are known, and find out what we have to do so that we could. I know we have to form a homeowners association, and they will take over, because they have been paying money at $300 per month into the maintenance. And persons have been calling me personally who did not go through TTMF and told me they have checks home value of $20-something thousand to pay. That's how much the $300 per month are built up to, so they want to know who to pay to. So it's all for us to iron out what we have to do with TTMF so that we could hand over the sewer treatment plan, bring it up to a standard to WASA, so they could do the maintenance and have this, the homeowners association operating, and then we could just hand over that entire the development to the homeowners association.
Right, and tell us about your relationship with HDC. How has that been with the division, and what are your plans for trying to develop that relationship in the future?
Well, I have no relationship with HDC, but I found something very disheartening and very concerning. I brought it to the attention of the Senior State Council yesterday, my administrator, and even last night I called the Chief Secretary, where I saw And it will be investigated because it seems like they're having communication with someone in the division, because from the tone of the letter that they sent, it seemed like it's a back and forth. But we saw last week, Friday, where this representative for Tobago West they did some repair to the play park at Colon and Adventure. And there were no consultation because I asked my director of settlements, do you know of this? What took place? I asked the administrator. I asked the site control officer. No one knew of what took place. I even called FCB because on inquiry, it was told to me that the play parks was an initiative under FCB Bank and the division. So I want to know how HDC could come to Tobago and refurbish the play park without any consultation. Now, that is the level of disrespect that I, as a Tobagonian who have been in this struggle since 1976.
Yeah, but I mean, that is akin to someone coming in your yard and fixing your gate.
And you don't know.
And you don't know because, I mean, it's your property.
Yes.
How can someone come to your house and fix your
And
gate?
you know what is strange? I only did a memo to the administrator yesterday asking for the legal officer to give me any kind of documentation in the division about the play parks in Tobago. And then when I went back yesterday to the office, I had several meetings yesterday, I saw a letter coming from HDC dated the 11th of July, and it was not even addressed to the secretary or the administrator. It was addressed to the legal officer, asking for clarification on lands in Tobago and housing development, Castara, Roxborough, Plymouth Adventure, and Bonaccord.
So this letter was coming directly from HDC?
For
clarity on the ownership?
Yeah, on the title of the lands. But I mean, if you want to do something for the people of Tobago, you must have consultation. I'm not saying that the children in Tobago, the play parks, do not need refurbishing, but you must have some consultation. And this is the level of disrespect that we are facing from entities in Trinidad.
There may be more critical issues on the plans that Tobagonians might be able to benefit from as opposed to the play parks. Now, we're not saying that play parks are not important, but they might have it in mind that they want to help with the play parks, but with consultation, you might find out that there are more critical issues on these plans that Tobagonians may be more willing
Any lands purchased by the central government in Tobago is vested under the Tobago House of Assembly. So I don't know how they could think that the play park, which was I think there were 4 parcels of land purchased in that Adventure area, but every land purchased here by the central government is vested under the Tobago House of Assembly. So when they're up to their mischief, and I'm seeing that another post that she says that phase 2 is coming soon. But I know after discussion today with the Chief Secretary and the Senior State Council, and even the outside council, that some correspondence will be sent to them. That you can't allow, although it's to the benefit of the citizenry of Tobago, but you cannot allow persons to disrespect you and disrespect, not even me individually, but the Tobago House of Assembly, in coming in and doing stuff like this without consultation.
Right, and is there any way that a cordial conversation can happen and you can come to middle ground?
We are always open to cordial conversation, but when you start at this tone, or when you start at this level, coming like a thief in the night and doing that construction, and I will have a serious conversation with my employees as how something like this could happen, and no one knew that it took place. So it's only until I made some comments that this letter came, but you're on social media on the 12th, showing that you did refurbishment work, but yet the letter is dated the 11th, you're asking about different housing development sites in Tobago. I would not stand and have anyone disrespect the division at which I headed. I always consult, I always speak to those who are in authority, the Chief Administrator, the Senior State Council, and my boss, the Chief Secretary, for guidance on issues like this. Because like I said, this is total disrespect, not to me, but to the Tobago House of Assembly.
Right. And as we wrap up this morning's discussion, during your budget debate, you would have emphasized on the electrification initiative. Now, we saw something that we haven't seen done in Tobago. We saw that route from Dallaford to Speyside is now lit. So even if you pass through there in the nighttime, you no longer have to worry about ghosts. You no longer have to worry about your car breaking down and not being able to see your hands. There's no lights within that area now. We haven't heard you make a big stint about that. Explain.
No, well, I don't like. There are certain responsibilities that I'm charged with. I always treat my assistants as equal. So that was under the Honorable Niall George. Now it is under the Honorable Orlando Kerr. So I have them spearhead whatever they are doing. I am just there, just keep me informed. And I know that that was a cry for Tobagonians for the longest while, traveling east, that place was in total darkness. And there are many areas, but you see, we go back to the position of funding. We only get only 500,000 for electrification in our budgetary allocation. Now we have the whole of, from Devines Road to Castara, needs to be lighted. And it is something that once we have the funding, we will do, because we are trying to, even though some of the beaches that we think that illicit activities are happening, like in King Peter Bay or even down in Golden Lane, that we would like to put electricity so that at least the residents could feel comforted. So these are the things that we are doing, and even in some of the inner cities, parts in the inner cities that are without electrification. But I must say that Secretary George did a wonderful job. Secretary Kerr is continuing along that vein and trying to do much more. So we are hoping to do as much as we could with our budgetary allocation. So I think that we are in a good place, and we will continue to be a good place where electrification is concerned.
When we look at the special purpose company that has been set up, have you decided to go along the route of private investment to get a number of those projects off the ground?
Yes, we have to, because we don't have the finances. The Chauvin is estimated to cost about $463 million. I think what I saw from the report handed to me 2 weeks ago, Adventure is supposed to be 187 million. Now these contractors have to come with their financing. We just give them the persons who are pre-qualified. And as the Chief Secretary, I will already recommended, what we could do is some early draws. Make sure that persons start paying early, because I mean you need money to roll over. So that is the way we have to do. You know, if we are to deliver, I had an ambition aim of at least starting or delivering 1,000 units in this first term, and I'm hoping that we are still on track, because once we start, I'm one who believes in politics that it's a relay. You may not run. You are not entitled to run the whole course, because I'm certain that Mr. Robinson had dreams from since in the 50s, and he died and didn't complete everything. But once these housing units that could bring benefit to Tobago, if there's 447 units starting in Chauvin, another 140 in Adventure, there's another 54 at Riseland. Mason is supposed to be about 36 or 45 parcels of land. Then we have Bacalet that was purchased for the Scarborough Sex School that we have now, that is now under the division, and we gave them a parcel of land over by the health center. We could get another 70-something parcels. So once we're well on the way, and we may even do somewhere we're just doing the infrastructure and giving persons to construct. But mind you that we might have to revisit the cost, because some of these areas are high cost areas.
Correct, especially when you look at the type of view that you get from Bacalet.
Yes.
You can't, I mean, how much is it a square feet? $15?
We could only sell at $15 per square
Yeah.
foot. So the executive may have to revisit that cost, because infrastructure cost is a hefty cost. Because the infrastructure cost for Chauvin is estimated around $93 million. So the special purpose company will do its negotiation with the contractors so that at least part of the money stays in the division, so we could continue our development. They are charged. They had a meeting with the Chief Secretary about 3 weeks ago, charged with buying pockets of land or utilizing pockets of state lands to construct homes in certain areas, because we can't have everybody on the southwestern end of the island.
Right. And with this special purpose company, when it comes to Tobagonians are known for building apartments, even in their own home. Would the special company, purpose company, be able to create a call for proposal for average citizens who are not big-time contractors, but who have been able to develop these apartment units to come in and assist the division with creating more of these housing complex in order to, you know, get more housing done during this short time?
Well, you know, as you say that, the Chief Secretary, we had a discussion about a month ago in the Executive Council. And he was alluding to things like that, because even now Dr. Alvin Thompson, who is a special advisor to the Chief Secretary, keeps saying that we have to start to make our homes as income generating. So now that, you know, in the housing development, you cannot conduct any business. It is up to the executive now to know if we're going to change that policy, because we are there to have given direction and control to set policies. So if that discussion comes up and the Chief Secretary decides that persons could now use their home as income generating, that decision, that policy will be implemented and persons could do so.
I mean,
Because
that also opens up for more
that's
housing
it.
on the island.
Because right now we are looking at if once we could have these persons at least have their home constructed in a way that could benefit them, because it will take a lot of pressure off the state if you could generate your own income. You see, we have to come out of the 1950s thinking. And Dr. Thompson has always alluded to the fact that we have to start to use our home as income generation. We have to do that because those lands that we gave out recently, I'm telling those recipients who were in the draw or who were hand-selected, you have been selected for development, a housing in a development area that has all the amenities. You know what that does for you? That parcel of land that you're paying $95,000, $78,000 for has all the approvals. So now if you go and evaluate that parcel of land, it will now value over $300,000, $400,000. So that is equity. So you could now use that and leverage it against the bank, because state land now could be used as collateral to get mortgage. So you are selected there. Your salary may be small, but I'm urging you, get your parcel of land valuated by a private valuator, and then go to the bank and negotiate so that you can get the necessary income that you need, or a loan that you need, so that you can at least construct.
So is this one of the policies that we can see coming to bear in your tenure, where persons would be able to utilize these homes for income generation? Is this something that you are pushing to get it done within your time?
I am pushing, and I said that it's collective responsibility. I'm guided by the Executive Council. Once I could argue well or try to convince the team that, okay, this is what, and I don't think it's going to be a hard sell, because we know that we have been hindered in really actually developing, and we are trying to make a better life for Tobagonians. So anything that will ease Tobagonian to bring them to that level that they could be comfortable, that they could use whatever they have to construct. Because it is hard to see that you're constructing these homes and you're taking 5 and 10 because you could buy a pallet of blocks now. No, we have to get out of that stage, because housing is a social issue, and I'm always say my passion is housing. I always say that I'm the Secretary for Housing, but I'm yet to construct my own home. I have other assets and stuff like that, but it gives me that sense of joy to see someone have a home, to have a piece of land and construct. And I'm going to do my best to make sure. I'm not going to do as the former secretaries. Even though I decide to walk away from this job at the end of my term or continue, no parcel of land will be left for another term. Everything will be given out under my tenureship, because I think that persons must, we have been struggling too long. Persons must enjoy that benefit of having to know that, okay, I was given this and I could construct this for the safety of me and my family.
Right. And so we could see that note coming before the Executive Council pretty soon.
That discussion will start today. Executive Council is at 11:30 today. That discussion will be continued today, because with what we are seeing, like I said, Ms. Felix, about the Rise Land project, we have to make a decision. Persons have been waiting 20, 24, 28 months now, have been selected, and they're waiting. So some persons called me and asked me, Secretary, can I be put in some other place, because it seemed like if this Rise Land project isn't going to get off the ground. And why should we have person waiting that length of time? You know what the mortgage payment will be now? You know how far long they would be if the government had access to funding to do the infrastructure work on these houses. So we're going to look at ways. The Chief Secretary is about to write the chairman of NIPDEC on ways we are looking, having attorneys look at ways that we could opt out of this agreement and then roll into a design build finance, because we have over 8,000 persons on database. And what we have done, we have been meeting persons from the protective services, fire services, nurses, and the number of persons that are interested in homes or lands. I mean, that number probably would go to over 9,000 already, because there are so much personnel. Even we have expats who are, interested in the housing market in Tobago. So once we could have the persons that we could keep the cost down, because I've been trying to tell the Chief Secretary, once we have some funding, let us pay on the design build finance, have it structured in a way that we could pay for the infrastructure over a 5-year period, so that the cost of the unit constructed by the contractor would be kept down, the price would be kept down. But if the contractor have to include the infrastructure cost and the structure of the unit, it will take it out of the reach of those who really deserve it or who should be getting these homes. So it's something we have to look at, and it all comes down to budgetary allocation from the central government. But mind you, I want to say this, and I cannot say it enough. It is the first time we have 7 Tobagonians sitting in the House of Representatives in Trinidad in the low and the upper house. Yet we were only granted $50 million in media review. And only an independent senator spoke out on behalf of Tobago and said that this is woefully inadequate. So what are our representatives doing? What is the Prime Minister, who is from my constituency or my electoral district, doing? And you wonder, when you look at what is going on in Trinidad, they are building 600 homes in 28 communities, starter homes for free for persons in Trinidad. But you only gave us $3 million this year under affordable housing. You're doing $388 million in houses in Trinidad thus far. And we only have $3 million.
And the housing situation in Tobago is far worse because we know that land is more expensive in Tobago.
Everything is more expensive. Land, material, labor. But I want to, it's something that I always say that I've been questioning myself. And we must start a question because we are all grown folks. 62 years of independence. What has that really benefited us? Budgetary allocation from 62 to 2024. If you do that total calculation, up to the year 2000, we were only getting 2% of budgetary allocation. We are getting 4.03 now. What are we benefiting as Tobagonians? We are the one holding the short end of the stick. And we are talking about a unitary state. Something has to be done that there's equity in the distribution of the resources of this list.
What do you have to say to our representatives in the Parliament for Tobago East and West who sit among their colleagues who have the opportunity to advocate on behalf of Tobagonians to get the work done? They may say, well, when we actually initiate change, we get pushed back and they say, well, this is a fifth schedule item and this is under the THA. For instance, with the situation with the MP for Tobago West, Shamfa Kojo, doing the play parks, one of the arguments presented may be that when we are actually initiating change for Tobago, the THA pushes back.
You must not I'm not saying that is wrong, but you have to respect the Tobago House of Assembly, an institution that we fought for many years. For 40-something years now, we have fought for that institution. You have to respect. But I mean to say, do they really see Tobago or they see their party? That is what is important. Are you seeing Tobago or are you seeing your party? Because it shouldn't be hard. The head of the country is a Mason Hallian, is a Tobagonian. So you must know that, okay, hey, this is woefully inadequate. This is and put something about me. We're talking about 9 years of governance by the PNM. And what have really we benefited? They're saying that they gave us more. We are benefiting from the highest budgetary allocation. But that's recurrent expenditure. You have cut our development budget by 40 million between last fiscal and this fiscal. So how are we to develop the island? So we have to wait on Trinidad to come and do everything. We are not old enough to say that, okay, we want this done. This is what this survey says. This is what the data says that we need this here, we need this here, and make it possible. Mr. Robinson lost his life or got shot for pursuing that Deepwater Harbor and that airport terminal building. So we have to constantly keep fighting. And we have 7 Tobagonians down there in Trinidad who could advocate on our behalf. What consultation do they have with the Chief Secretary as to say, okay, Chief, what are the projects that you think we're going to go down there and advocate? There's none. So they are not seeing Tobago, they are seeing their party, not Tobago.
Understood. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up this morning's discussion right now. I mean, there are so many other questions that can be asked and so many other topics to touch on, but we hope to have part 2 of this discussion very soon. Again, thank you so much for coming on this morning and giving us your time here at Tobago Updates. Guys, I am Chanel Felix and this was Good Morning Tobago. We had extensive conversation with Assemblyman Ian Pollard on everything that's happening in regards to housing, settlements, and rural development. We're going to continue this conversation again. You know, there's a lot more that we have to touch on. But for now, we call an end to this morning's discussion. So we want to thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting and doing all that you have been doing to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster on the island of Tobago. Have a great day, guys.
We are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches. We are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is #1. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Esteemed partners and sponsors, and most importantly, our beloved communities. Welcome to the Tobago Heritage Festival 2024. As we embark on the 37th year of this festival, our theme is We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. We are bringing back iconic events such as Yesterday's Children, Bell Manor Riots, and the Courtship Codes. We want to highlight the importance of coming back to our roots, celebrating the people and the communities that make Tobago so special. Get ready for an unforgettable experience as we say, we come back to our true essence. We want to encourage each and every one of you to continue to support our cultural development and preservation in any way that you can. Your support is truly invaluable. Together, we can continue to make a positive impact that will be felt for generations to come. Thank you, and see you in July.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with immense pride and excitement that I address you to officially launch the 2024 Tobago Heritage Festival. The Tobago Heritage Festival is not just an event, it is a journey back to our roots. This year's theme, We Come Back. Back to our communities, back to our villages, back to our true indigenous heritage presentations and productions. It captures the true essence of revitalizing the culture and traditions that have shaped our identity for generations. This year marks the 37th successful hosting of the festival, and we are proud to officially dub the month of July as Tobago Heritage Month, a time when our island comes alive with rhythms, flavors, and stories of our ancestors. The festival continues to offer an unparalleled opportunity for economic growth on the island. Every stakeholder, from local artisan and vendor to hospitality businesses and transportation services, stand to benefit. Our vibrant cultural displays will attract visitors, boost tourism, and provide a significant economic uplift to the island. The heart of this festival beats in our communities. We are empowering each village to manage its own productions to ensure authenticity and sustainability. The Tobago Festival Commissions Limited and the Tobago House of Assembly are here to support you, fostering an environment where our heritage can flourish sustainably. As we embark on this journey, let us celebrate the essence of Tobago. Let us honor our heritage and support our communities as we showcase the vibrant culture that makes our island unique. Thank you.
Last year, October 2023, the island tilted. The peaceful bliss of sea, sun, and sand was transcended as we took to the streets to revel in paradise.
Such a nice place!
Tobago Carnival, we're right here. We're not leaving till we go right down.
It's the greatest, it's the best, it's safe, and it's beautiful.
I love Tobago, baby. Coming back next year. Hey!
Playing pan on the streets is a magical experience. When the band strike up, is rhythm, steel, and powder. This is Tobago Carnival, Pan in Paradise.
Tobago is the best.
Tobago Carnival is the new home for the legend of Calypso. Where else can you get sweet Calypso music that gives you that nostalgic feeling?
Soca Titans is we title, is we monarch. We built artists from scratch who can perform with the best. Real Titans of Soca.
When last you've been to a party, plenty women looking so nice. We must be in paradise.
This year, Ritual takes on new space and dimension. Traditions will be reimagined, breaking free, and taking on new meaning on the road.
I love the energy!
This year, the revelry is bigger and better. More colors, more meaning. Great packages for the masqueraders. Tobago Carnival is freedom.
This year promoting safety in all events for Tobago Carnival. This year promoting whining, not minding people business. This year promoting clean fun, security and freedom.
Freedom to be any version of yourself that you choose to be with love and safety. Here, you have permission to be you, uninhibited and free.
So what you waiting on? This year, this October 2024, experience the ritual, revel in paradise, release yourself. From the greatest little island on the planet, this is the Tobago Carnival 2024.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
National security heads meet on crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago police officers vow to take a zero-tolerance approach to crime on the island. Lambo fishermen worried about February 7th oil spill documentation requests, and Tobago Heritage Festival continue to be a staple event, Natural Treasures Day. Good evening, I am Bianna Brebner. Welcome to the Tobago Updates Television News for Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. Now to our top story. As the crime rate continues to increase across the nation, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, head of the National Security Council, met with top security officials at the Diplomatic Center, St. Anne's, on Monday, July 15th to address the rising crime rate. The meeting included Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioners, heads of TTPS Division, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Acting Commissioner of Prisons, and the Director of the Strategic Services Agency. Dr. Rowley expressed serious concerns about violent crime and the use of illegal weapons, advocating for a proactive, intelligence-driven approach targeting known and suspected criminals. The government pledged support for the TTPS, emphasizing adherence to legal protocols. The meeting concluded with an agreement to deploy coordinated joint operations in high crime areas. Minister of National Security Fitzgerald Hines and Minister of Energy and Energy Industry Stuart Young also attended. The upsurge in crime and criminal activity in Tobago is of a great concern to Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and they intend to take